Hello everybody and welcome back to Crypto Simplified. In this video I shall be looking at Dragonchain, a project that I have touched on before but not done a full review on yet. However, please remember that I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just me sharing my research with you, and please do your own research before investing in any projects. Remember, it's your money. Please put in the work before you invest it. Having said that, thank you all for the great support and the fantastic response from my last few videos. If you have any suggestions, I'll be glad to hear them. Do leave a like, do subscribe, and welcome to all the new subscribers. I do hope you folks enjoy the content on my channel. And let's get right into this review on Dragonchain. So firstly, what is this project all about? It was developed by Disney in Seattle, Washington. I shall get more into that later. It is a smart contract platform plus a blockchain startup incubator as well as an ecosystem. So I shall get into all this later as well. Since this is targeted at companies, they offer a hybrid of private and public blockchains, so companies can choose which combination of the two actually works best for them. And in accordance to the whole business aspect of it, it is focusing on government compliance. This is mainly with companies in the United States, but they will probably be expanding elsewhere soon. And one of the major USPs of this platform is that it uses popular programming languages that developers in the space are familiar with and have been familiar with for a considerable period of time. So unlike Solidity for Ethereum and the other programming languages for other blockchain-based products, developers can use what they know and implement that on a blockchain-based platform. So over here we have more of a look at the project structure. So we have the Dragonchain brand and project on the left, and it's split into three parts. The platform, which is both commercial as well as open source. An incubator, where they help nurture projects that could either be used within their system or as external parts to other systems, but still be partnered with the Dragonchain brand. And finally, an ecosystem where ideas can be shared, and it just links together all the aspects of the Dragonchain project. So like I said earlier, that this is a Disney-based project. So the intention was to help improve Disney's operations. So it was an internal pitch, and later on this project became partly open source. So when they actually pitched this project, they discussed several use cases. I won't read them all out for you, but what you can do is pause this video and check it out if you need to. The bottom line of the use cases in this project is that different companies require different things. So you can't really have a one-size-fits-all blockchain. So instead, they create a blockchain for each entity or business that wants to participate on the Dragonchain platform. So I shall get more into how this works a little later. Well, an overview of how this works. So remember, this channel is called Crypto Simplified. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but if you do want to read up any more about this project and about the nitty-gritty, like the architecture as well as the more coder-friendly stuff, I shall leave all my references and links in the description. This is just a simplified overview. So now that you know more about the use cases of the Dragonchain platform, let's have a look at the team, and it is a really incredible one. So everyone in this core team has top-level experience with some incredibly prestigious companies. So let's start off with the CEO, Joe Rhodes, who is also the founder. He has 20 years of experience in software architecture, but he's worked with some insanely prestigious companies such as Disney, Lockheed Martin, the FBI, and the Department of Defense, as well as a bit of crypto experience in Coinbase. I won't read out everyone's experience. You can pause this and check it out for yourself. But this is a fantastically accomplished team. And remember, this is a project run by Disney. So they do have a lot of funding, and they do have the influence that being a Disney side project can provide. So remember, in terms of experience and prestige, these guys absolutely have it covered. A key part of the Dragonchain platform are the types of verifications that you can use depending on the type of blockchain that your company wants. So you can choose to have either a very trustless blockchain, a very trust-reliant blockchain, or anything in the middle. On the right, I have listed a few use cases for the different types of blockchain. For example, the L5 is like a public bridge. So this is a completely trustless service where you can have lots of different parties forming consensus on the chain. You will need this sort of security in order to participate in a very public blockchain like the established ones, for example, Bitcoin and Ethereum. On the other end of the scale, you've got the business L1 blockchain where no real consensus is required. All the participants on this blockchain are trusted nodes. So for example, this is like trusted collaborators working on a project, so you don't really need to double check each other's work because you're pretty sure that they've put in the work beforehand and have checked what they've been doing. In the middle, you got the network diversity one, which is just the best of both worlds, a private / distributed blockchain. So you can keep certain parts public, certain parts private. So there are different grades of verification needed depending on the purpose of the company's blockchain and depending on how much information the companies want to make public. To see how this actually works in practice, here's a comparison with Ethereum. All transactions start with the proposal, where they want to actually transact something on the network for a certain purpose. Because of Ethereum's 15-second block time and its transaction capacity, blocks need to be validated and they will take time to validate the transactions in those blocks. On Dragonchain, however, the fixed quick block time as well as the independent blockchains mean that the load on each blockchain is fairly low comparatively because all the traffic on the Dragonchain network is split between each blockchain which is owned by each business. So then depending on the verification required, the verification is done and then the system is made valid. This can be said for both. And then you have the transaction added to the chain. On Ethereum, it's on the Ethereum public blockchain. On Dragonchain, it will just be on the specific chain that the company has signed up for. So what it does is just splits up all the work and makes this a low stress blockchain. So it helps companies actually manage their operations in a very simple way. So having said that, let's have a look at the token then. What's this about? Firstly, it's an ERC20 token. So it's distributed during the ICO. 10 million allegedly was raised. I say allegedly because the figures that they're talking about vary depending on the sources that you're looking at. However, I've taken mine from the official roadmap. The link's in the description, so you can check it out there. So the use of this currency is primarily for people on the ecosystem. So you can use this to buy ready-made smart contracts. You can use this to pay certain vendors on the site. But that is just a small use case for this because that only gives value to people who are on the platform. This, however, has a use case for hodlers as well. So there's this thing called a Dragon Slumber Score. And you hodl the tokens in a wallet, so you don't move them anywhere, and then you can build your Dragon Slumber Score. So it's also called DSS, and it's calculated with the amount of Dragon tokens held in the wallet multiplied by the amount of time that they've been held. So basically the whole point of this is to incentivize people keeping their tokens in one place. The slight problem that arises from this is that if you have multiple Ethereum wallets and you move your Dragons between your wallets, then your DSS gets reset back to 0. So the main advantage of having a good DSS is special pricing for the incubator projects that are launched on the Dragonchain platform. Below, we can see an example of the advantages you can get if you have a high DSS. So this is for the Iagon ICO that's going to be on the Dragonchain platform very soon. If you have a DSS of 5 million or above, you get to buy these tokens at 6 cents a piece. If you have one DSS, you can get them for 9 cents a piece. So that's already a 50% price difference. However, if you're buying this without having any DSS, it costs 12 cents each. And there is a different allocation for people with different DSS levels. So this incentivizes hodling even further. All the ICOs on this network are part of the Dragonscale incubator, which is my next slide. So the goal is to develop tokenization ecosystems focused on long-term value. So in addition to the standard legal, technical, economic, and marketing advice that an incubator would provide a startup, you have the extra Disney oomph. And Disney is one of the largest corporations in the USA. So they have a ton of strategic partners across a whole bunch of verticals. So if you're part of the Dragonscale incubator, you can potentially have access to almost every pie that Disney has its fingers in. In terms of the bigger picture of cryptocurrency, its adoption, its development, I think this is a truly fantastic idea. If we have big money coming into fledgling projects, actually putting them in touch with the right people to guide them through the journey of making their idea a reality that will improve lives, while using blockchain tech, I think this is the best possible scenario. So this incubator has several projects in the works, and they make up a key part of the roadmap. In Q3 of this year, there will be 5 projects from the incubator being launched into the market, as well as the opening of the developer academies. So now they're going to be training people to work with the incubator projects by helping build their skills in coding, as well as helping them build a knowledge base on what smart contract and blockchain technology is all about. They're really going for a grassroots approach over here, and this will benefit the entire community as a whole. So for this reason, I'm very, very positive about this. And then at the end of the year, they will launch their commercial environment, which will enable transactions to take place on their blockchain in order for people to buy modular aspects of what the developers are doing, so that they can just integrate it into their existing frameworks. So that's exactly what they want to build. They want to build a very easy to integrate network for businesses of all sizes. Some of the projects that are going to be released on this platform are IOGON, which is the most visible current ICO right now. I can attach a link to that in the description so you can check it out if you like. However, you need a fairly high DSS score to participate in this. There isn't much information on the other projects just yet, but if you're interested in them, let me know and I might make a follow-up video depending on what sort of response this video gets. So then, next up, this is a very key part of any blockchain-based enterprise, and that is scalability. And these guys are actually solving scalability in a very different, unexpected, and unconventional way. For cryptocurrency, at least, it's very unconventional, and that is by using Amazon Web Services. So Amazon has a serverless computing system called AWS Lambda, and Dragonchain will have their entire platform on that. So what this offers is very high scalability, and it's smart contract friendly because the Dragonchain platform requires code in those established coding languages. The AWS Lambda knows how to understand code in that language, so smart contracts in those known coding languages will execute due to this system. So potentially this is a very easy to integrate system, but the major drawback is it's not open and distributed like the cryptocurrency projects that we expect and we are used to. While you might be slamming the lack of transparency and the lack of the distributed strength that this network can provide, remember that this project is geared toward government compliance and ease of integration. And that's exactly what AWS Lambda is going to provide. So yes, it doesn't exactly fit perfectly with the mentality behind cryptocurrency, but it is something that will help bring blockchain technology to a much wider audience. So then, let's have a look at the competitors who are present in this space, and there are a lot of massive players. Massive players. I haven't even mentioned all of them. These are just the ones that came to the top of my head the moment I thought of competitors. But these are projects that I quite like or are very, very popular. Ontology is absolutely flying up the ranks. Niles, I did a video on that, so do check it out if you want to see what other enterprise blockchains are competing for the top dog spot alongside Dragonchain. Then you also have RHOC, one of my favorite projects. But the thing is, if you compare the numbers, you can see that there is only one real winner so far, and that's Ontology. But that might just be because of what's happening right now. Ontology is just flying up those market cap ranks, and it's possibly the most attractive cryptocurrency right now. Will it lose momentum? Will it dip again? No one really knows, but so far Ontology seems like the top dog. So you have to remember that this video needs to be seen in the context of Ontology being on such a strong bull run right now. So for the sake of comparison, I've just used Ontology and RHOC because these are the most established competitors right now. Nulls, while it has a lot of promise, isn't really that high up on the coin market cap ranking. So these three are in the top 100, all sort of battling it out for a similar spot. Ontology and Dragon both taking very similar approaches. RHOC wants to make a sort of different ecosystem with the smart bridges. So in a sense, it is using connectivity between multiple blockchains. So they can be seen as competitors. If you want to have a closer look at these numbers, you can. But I think the value of the numbers is in the context of the ups and downs. So this is just a nice snapshot of today. But I suggest you watch the numbers if you want to get involved into any of these projects. I wouldn't suggest you jumping in straight away. Again, not a financial advisor. But I would suggest you to watch the market for a while just to learn the movement of each asset and as well as the sectors within the market itself, such as the enterprise blockchains. How are they moving? Sorry, a little sidetrack. Now let's have a look at the exchanges. It's on KuCoin. KuCoin tends to favor fairly early stage projects, and I think there's potential, a lot of upside potential actually, when Dragonchain gets listed on other exchanges. If you want to get in there early, it's only on one exchange. Potentially the price is quite attractive, and we can see from my entry points that the price has really been down significantly. In terms of the current valuation, it's just 3x the ICO valuation, and remember, it went up on a massive run. It was almost 3 times the price at one point. That's all-time high compared to what it is right now. Don't really take my word for it. You should do your own research, mark your own entry and your own exit points. This is just where I think I would be comfortable in buying these assets. I'm only considering cashing out my investment near the all-time high because I want to trade this for more Ethereum. So that's my presentation. Let's have a look at a summary of the pros and cons of this project. So the team and incubator for me are phenomenal positives. Absolutely phenomenal. They're helping develop the blockchain space, and they have in the team fantastic people to help guide them. The ease of integration and the flexibility are 2 large pros as well. The other pros, however, do have a bit of a flip side. They are like double-edged swords. So Disney, I think, is a massive pro in terms of the amount of reach that they can provide, as well as the influence in making sure that these projects get integrated into the real world. However, the con is Disney. It's a big corporation. It has lots of vested interests, as well as a keen eye on profit margins. So whether they're going to be prepared to take a loss for a few years, we don't know. But there is a potential that they might just cut the program if it's not profitable enough. Likewise, the scalability is also a double-edged sword. On the pro side, we can scale these operations as far as we need to. However, the drawback is that it is run by Amazon, another big company, so it's not really decentralized in the same way that we want. So on the whole, while this has a whole bunch of advantages for actual usability, in terms of the other side of cryptocurrency, the permissionless, completely sturdy, distributed system isn't really there in the same way. However, this project does have a very specific set of use cases, and these use cases could definitely provide value. So I think that Dragonchain could really provide some positive changes to the way business is currently done. So that's my take on Dragonchain. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do leave a like if you did. Do leave me some constructive criticism if you didn't. I'd love to hear what you folks had to say. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. And while you're subscribing, why not click that bell button too, just to get as many updates as you possibly can from me. I don't upload that often anymore, but I would like to upload more in-depth videos to give you folks a nice look at projects, as well as the potential effect that these projects can have in the wider scheme of things. So that's it from me. Thank you folks for stopping by. This is Marv from Crypto Simplified signing off. You folks take care, and we'll catch up very, very soon. Later.